happy Wednesday, and welcome to another episode of Quotes to Live By from Inspirational Goods, where I pick a quote each week to hopefully give you a little bit of inspiration, motivation, or just something positive to think about for your day and your week ahead. And this week I picked a quote because I wanted to talk about the subject of acceptance in our lives. And this quote comes from the author Deborah Raber. And the quote goes, "Letting go doesn't mean that you don't care about someone anymore. It's just realizing that the only person you really have control over is yourself." And I think that's such an important lesson that we all need to learn and accept in our lives, is that there's so many things that happen with situations and people in our lives, and we really almost never have any control over what that other person does. We really only have control over what we do and how we choose to view and accept things and see how situations pan out. And I think I wanted to talk about this quote because I think sometimes acceptance and letting go sometimes gets a bad reputation, and it's seen as being weak for just not doing anything. And people say things like, "Oh, I can't believe you're just going to let that happen," or "How can you accept that?" or "How can you accept them doing that to you?" And the thing is sometimes it's more powerful to just let go, accept the situation for what it really is, and just be able to move on versus holding on and fighting and giving the power to that person or that thing or that situation. Sometimes that makes it worse. And accepting and letting go is really something better, and it frees your mind and it frees your emotions to just move on and forgive and get past it. And I think one of the things that makes it confusing sometimes in our life is that we're taught, most of us anyway, a lot of right and wrong when we're younger. Our parents teach us when we hurt someone or do something bad to apologize to that person for what we did. That way that person feels better, and you can be in a better situation together and you can both move on. Our teachers do the same thing at school. When someone bullies someone, the teacher usually tells the kid to apologize to the other child that they were bullying or the other child that they hurt. So we kind of grow up expecting that apology and to be able to move on from that hurt in that way, because that other person is apologizing to us, and then that's how we're able to move on. But sadly, the reality is, and especially as we get older and we don't have teachers and we don't have our parents always looking after us, the reality is that a lot of times people don't apologize for things that they do that hurt us, whether they know that they hurt us or they did it intentionally or they don't know. A lot of times we wait for that apology to be able to move on, and we never get it. And I know so many people, and myself included, in different situations where we hold on waiting for that apology that hurt us for years, decades even. And we build up a ton of sadness and pain and resentment towards that other person. And it's really just holding us a prisoner to those emotions. And the reality is that in this quote, like she says, is that the only person you really have control over is yourself. And that is so true. Are we going to sit and wait for that apology and that hurt to contain our emotions and to pull us down like we're a prisoner to that for so long? Or are we going to take control and not be a victim and choose to let it go, to forgive because we need to, and that way we give that power back, and we're no longer waiting for other people to make us happy, or that apology to say that, okay, now you can move on and you can no longer hurt. I think it's a really hard, easier said than done lesson to learn, but it's something that I think is so important for all of us to try to practice this thing of acceptance and realize that even though you're not responsible for some of the pain and the hurt that has happened in your lives, you are responsible to find out the way that you can heal from it, because a lot of times you're not able to rely on that other person to do anything for you. So I think it's important to learn how to heal on your own. Know that you're strong enough that you can accept and let go for what it is. And it's so important that even though you're dealing with this internally and you have to put in the work alone, to realize you are not alone, and you need to know to surround yourself with the people, the family, the friends that can be there to support you. So I just want you to really focus on dealing with things, realizing that sometimes we have to accept that we have to go through it on our own, and the person that hurt us may not be the one apologizing, and know who your friends are, know who your true circle is, and surround yourself by those people that are really there for you for the right reasons. So hopefully this was a good reminder today. Hopefully it was something that maybe will motivate you or inspire you to look at your life a little bit differently, and to take the reins and know that you're strong, and you can accept and move on without that other person that caused you pain or hurt doing anything for you, and you can just move on from them and move forward. So thank you all for tuning in as always, and I look forward to seeing you again next week with another episode of Quotes to Live By. Bye everyone. Take care.